Hello there, and welcome to the Cargo Bay Presents Odds and Ends Part 2. I'm Brady C here with my co-host as always.
Adam B. We're going even deeper, BC, into the swimming pool full of odds and ends and obscure things.
Very, very exciting. Yes, I thoroughly enjoyed Odds and Ends Part 1, featuring A New Hope. Found some real gems in there. Excited to see what we've got unearthed for our follow-ups from the original trilogy.
Now, I will admit, BC, I did a little less. Actually, that's not true. I spent a long time looking for stuff here. It was just much harder to find things. I don't know if that's because Topps really had the rights all wrapped up at a certain point. But anyway, we've already gotten some good comments on our past video of things that we missed. So I'm just gonna say, if we miss anything, let us know, and we'll do a video in the future on odds and ends that we've missed. Maybe just include them in a future all kinds of odds and ends video, what have you. But there is some stuff here for Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, including some returns of some of our favorite brands.
Ooh, spoiler.
I think we'll start here, BC, with something a lot of people know. Oh wait, like and subscribe. Anyway, I think we'll start with something a lot of folks know about, which is the Burger King cards, BC.
These are very cool, and I am a lucky of a set of the Burger
Yes.
King cards, thanks to you, which you got those at Star Wars Celebration, didn't
I
you?
did, yeah. Yeah, got a nice all connected set. The cards weren't chopped up. Someone was selling them there.
These are very cool in hand, and have kind of a mix from Empire and A New Hope images, but they do come like it's a 3-card like panel that you would like, it's like a fold and tear off of the perforated line. I have seen some that are PSA graded. They are understanding, I guess, and forgiving of that you have to tear because they're perforated.
Yeah, I would imagine it's like stamps where you want the perforated edge, right?
Yeah, I mean, because they take that into account into the grading. It's not like, oh yeah, this edge is completely sheared off, so
Yeah.
that's a 1. Your card's a 1. I mean, it's part of it. My dad has a kind of weirdly has like a post serial baseball card collection that was cut off from the back of like post serial boxes that he graded, and like he's got, these are from the 60s, but he got like 6s and 7s on those.
Nice.
Pretty cool considering they were just recently graded but were hand cut,
Yeah.
back in his younger days. So you can still get kind of good grades on these. I think they do look cool as the panels. For me, it's just like finding a way to kind of like display it, but I
Yeah.
think they look awesome. The images are great.
Yeah, pretty cool image selection on these cards. Interesting, you got 2 of Han in that squat, but I found VC. I'm a little confused. If someone could help me, that'd be great, because again, it's hard to dig this. I don't know if Google is getting harder to use, like, or if information is just getting buried in the vastness of the internet, but I found these Everybody Wins game cards, which I have in the top right corner here, with the ugliest rendering of an X-Wing I've
I
ever
was gonna
seen.
say, what happened with this X-Wing?
I had some theories here.
Okay,
Because
I
you'd
love it.
scratch these off, and 2 of the things would say not a winner, not a winner, or not this spot, not this spot. And then most of them said trading cards. Everybody wins, meaning that everybody gets something, and usually it's
You
trading cards.
right?
But there were also, as much rarer prizes, Star Wars flying saucers, which at first I thought maybe this X-Wing was something like, this is a rendering of the flying saucer X-Wing. But from what I could tell, those flying saucers were just Frisbees with
Sure.
Empire Strikes Back art printed on them. So
Okay.
my theory's blown out of the water. And then there were handheld electronic games, which I could find no evidence of. And I couldn't find the Frisbees listed as
Mm,
prizes for this game, but I did find an old
mm.
Burger King commercial, which made things more confusing because
Oh
the
boy.
trading cards they hand the kid over the counter looked nothing like these. But I can't find any other. They're like they're wide vision portrait like cards. They're wide portrait cards they hand the kid. not these, but I can't find any evidence of those outside of that commercial. So I'm thinking, okay, they shot this commercial before they finalized the products. And then they
Classic.
show a game which, is a fuzzy old commercial, but it appears to be a repaint or a different colored plastic of an old Space Invaders handheld game. Which, from what I can tell from my forum research, that's probably what it was. They just gave out a Space Invaders game. But they did have the frisbee, which was what you smell over there, BC?
Something stinks, Adam. I'll tell you, something stinks about all of this.
I'm not sure what's
like
going on, but
something stinks.
It's a mess.
This is ripe for a cargo bay investigation. One of our hard hitting investigative journalism episodes where we get to the bottom of it, or we completely forget about it and just move on with our lives. But if we were, this seems like a primo investigation.
Step one of that investigation is going out to the cargo bay, asking people if they've got any knowledge about this. Let us know. I would love to see any of these items. I mean, the flying saucers seem to be frisbees that were also available elsewhere. And the electronic games were blue in that commercial. I found black and gray versions online, but no blue ones. So
I think we might have to take this to the king himself.
Boy, the king in that old Burger King commercial, just as creepy as he is in the Creepy King commercials, wasn't trying to be creepy, but was real creepy.
This has nothing to do with anything. I hate their advertising where they're like, let's just creep people out with our mascot and let's just make it as unsettling as possible. I don't want to eat your flame broiled burgers. This is horrifying.
I kind of like when things are like, yeah, the world's awful. Here, we'll acknowledge that. Sneak King.
I'm the king.
But anyway, there's your 1980 Burger King Have It Your Way cards, which I assume were connected to this Everybody Wins game, and that wasn't a separate promotion. Let us know if you know. Oh, also, you could get those Burger King glasses for Empire Strikes Back, which are really cool looking and also had cadmium in the paint and were poisoning people. So, I mean, I don't think you died immediately, but don't drink out of them if you got them.
Do you have any classic drinkware from a fast food restaurant?
My wife has a Noid Domino's glass that is very cool. It's like the Noid water skis, I think.
I remember, I don't know which Batman movie it was. It was one of the crappy Schumacher Batman movies, but they had like sort of plasticky kind of glassware that I have vague memories of. I no longer own. Again, I'm sure all this garbage is on eBay for a few bucks. But I love that even back in the day, they were having glassware that could potentially kill people. Way to go.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
My favorite glassware that I had growing up and wish I still had, I don't think they're that expensive last time I checked, are the Lord of the Rings goblets you could get from Burger King. Do you remember those? They were these big glass goblets with like a relief of Lord of the Rings characters, and they had a plastic bottom. Like the bottom rim of the goblet was plastic with LED lights in it. So you could take it off and wash it, but you put the bottom on and you turn the LEDs and it lights up the faces on the goblet.
All right, listen, I know we're in the middle of recording, but I am
okay. I guess I'll do a little image flyby on this.
They do have the glass goblets. There's a set of 4. Hey, that's $30 or best offer, basically. So
I mean, they're really cool.
It's kind of a steal.
I mean, that's one of the nice things about having these products that were produced for millions and millions of people is they don't really go up in value very much.
No.
I imagine the LED bases are worth more.
Yeah, I would think so. That's amazing.
Yeah, cool stuff.
Sorry to get sidetracked. Very cool.
Check out, wait for our Lord of the Rings episode coming to you this Christmas time. Gonna move on, BC, to the Panini Empire Strikes Back stickers, and this is kind of more from Panini, just like the last set. Very cool image selection here. More of those little sticker books you can get, and a good selection of Ralph McQuarrie images, which I've included here. No, I love that.
Always love the McQuarrie love in these, even in the early sets. They're like, yeah, this is important. We should put these images out there. and I think you're going to get to this here in a second, so maybe I won't step on it too much. But we did open. I think we opened the Return of the Jedi stickers, or maybe I know I did. I don't know if you ever opened a pack of the Panini stickers. To me, they're cool, but I feel like as a card, it doesn't get there for me. It feels a little flimsy. I do think you need the book. I think you need the collecting experience with the book.
I'd take them in a slab, you know.
Yeah.
That makes it more like a card to me. But yeah, these are really flimsy little cards. If you haven't, I mean, they're stickers. If you haven't ever held one. I was gonna say about the Macquarie stuff. I think a lot of sci-fi movies, one, didn't have marketing, you know, outside of the movie itself. But I would imagine a lot of early sci-fi movies, the concept art looks so much better than what comes out on the screen that they don't really want to showcase that. Whereas the Macquarie stuff, man, they really do just replicate his work, which is part of the reason why Star Wars is so good. Is they're like, how can we do exactly this in camera? It seems like.
Yeah.
And we're successful in doing a lot of it. It's wild looking at these images and being like, yep, that looks exactly like it did in the movie. Almost every single one of those.
The Falcon one is the one that's being, you know, tractor beamed in.
Oh yeah.
That one is the one that I'm like, oh, they just were like, no, we can do that. That's easy enough.
Yeah, but even the simple, like, here's Han and Leia and Chewbacca with busted 3PO and then Vader, you know, throwing Luke out that window, the ion cannon. I mean, almost all of these are frame exact.
Beautiful.
To a shot in the film. Aside from Luke, I think Luke has a long pole on top of that X-wing as if he's pushing his X-wing along through the swamp like a gondola.
Yeah.
Maybe that was something that happened. Anyway, there's your sticker book. Not too expensive to buy books or stickers of that. And this isn't really a trading card at all, but I did want to check in with Tip Top from the famous R2-D2 Space Ice.
Yeah.
They did a series of masks, cutout masks. This is not a trading card at all, but I just love Tip Top, so had to check in on the Darth Vader. You'll feel the force when you taste the flavor of whatever these Empire Strikes Back bars are.
I don't know that slogan works for me.
No.
I don't know that I want to feel the force of Darth Vader.
Wait until you see what happens for Return of the Jedi, BC. It may be similarly upsetting.
So these are human face-sized masks?
Yeah, maybe child-sized. I guess they're just on the back of the box. You'd cut out, and it suggested you color them in, but there's a Darth Vader and a Stormtrooper, so I don't know about coloring.
No color needed. You know, do some chiaroscuro shading on them, you know, give a little picture maybe.
So yeah, we'll come back to Tip Top here in the future. And let's move on to Return of the Jedi, because again, I guess before we do that, I wanted to mention Empire Strikes Back. I think part of the problem with trading cards not having international releases is that I read that Empire Strikes Back was released overseas in wildly different times. It went to Japan pretty quickly, but because of various reasons, it was like some places like didn't get Empire Strikes Back until 1982. It wasn't released in the UK until 1981. And this was a thing because Lucasfilm was an independent film like company. As part of it was they had trouble distributing it because they didn't have the major studio distribution or whatever. I don't know. That's what I read, but it could also be BS. So aside from Topps just having things locked in, that might be part of the reason for this. Also, there were versions of the standard Empire Strikes Back trading cards, like for instance in the UK. From what I could tell, they look pretty much the same. I didn't see very many cool variations at all on the basic Star Wars cards, so I did not include them in this wrap up. But if you know otherwise, let me know. So yeah, moving on to Return of the Jedi. There's less fervor for Return of the Jedi merchandise in general, I think, out there, but Panini returning here. Here's someone had turned, this was on eBay, someone had turned all these stickers into magnets, but it was a really nice presentation of the stickers, so I just used that.
Solid. I like that. I like that.
So yeah, that nice sticker album. You got borders on these stickers, make them feel a little bit more like cards. You know, more stickers. What is there to say? There's some cool image selections here. Again, you're gonna get space battle cards actually in this, where you're not gonna get them out of the top set at all. So
Yeah, kind of a bummer on that front.
yeah.
To me, my disappointment was that like I don't think I got any stickers out of my sticker packs that were like a complete card. It's like here's a piece of a puzzle, and I'm like,
here's Luke Skywalker's knee.
I'm like that's wildly disappointing.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, if you're going through and have access to a bunch of the sticker packs in the book, I think it's kind of a cool thing. But just as like a buyer beware, if you buy a pack of Panini Return of the Jedi, you may not get anything, but you know, Wicket's lower right haunch,
Right.
you know, or Jabba the Hutt's flubber, you know, like
you need to be.
You might not even get an eyeball or a mouth.
Yeah.
I
want that eyeball. I'll trade you Jabba's mouth for his eyeball.
I got 8 lower right Jabbas. Does anybody want
a portion of an eye?
Yeah.
Yeah, worked much better when they were 5 cents instead of $3 or whatever they are for a pack of these stickers.
Yeah, for sure.
Returning to Space Ice, we did have stickers again, VC. They're mostly Ewok stickers, which is a bit of a bummer, but check it out. You get Jedi jelly inside of your ice cream.
What does that even mean?
I don't think you want to think about it, but you can get Jedi jelly. It does look delicious.
This is by far the worst. To me, this is the worst of the actual product. I think Space Ice 1 seems like just a classic, you know,
rocket
red,
pop.
white, and blue style rocket pop, right? The Darth Vader, you feel the force. The word jelly being thrown into a frozen treat of and really is off-putting to me.
I'm very curious about it.
Although I would rather have Ewok stickers over the Vader. I think Space Ice peaked with A New Hope.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's just iconic.
Definitely diminishing returns. I do like the wrapper for these with the Jedi jelly, but yeah, you can find these stickers for not nearly as much as the OG stickers, of course, but yeah, mostly focus on Ewoks and droids. So there you go. Bye Tip Top. I don't know that we'll ever see you again, but sure was a delight, especially that first series. Now here is the highlight for me of Return of the Jedi oddities: the Monty Gum from Holland. Just look at that box, VC.
The box rules, and I mean, this was you're in the bag for this because that yellow border.
Yeah,
I was like, this is a shoe-in product for you. Now, the Monty Gum, is this because those look like Panini style packs? Is it a sticker that we're looking at here, or is it a trading card official?
This is a trading card, and they are smaller. Okay. They have blank backs. But the packs also feature this weird, the cool, like, see how Darth Vader is like 3 different colors? That's what the packs look like. They have different characters and weird color shifts, which I love.
Dig, yeah.
And then, yeah, they're just plain cardboard cards. Looks like, you know, pretty low print quality on those tiny little cards. There are a lot of them. I think there are 100. I can't remember, but you see they have little numbers on them. And man, I love these things. I think they look great because they're yellow. And I think the logo looks good. So there you go.
The logo does look good. It doesn't. Sometimes I feel like the logo placement or the way that they're done is not great. I think the black and yellow, I think it works.
Yeah, I love that battle on the barge card there of Luke. It's weird where they put the text on the top of the cards is weird to me,
Yeah.
like the little all rights reserved, but they did it in the portrait style. They did them on the bottom, so I don't know. Anyway, that may be the end. Is there? Oh no, BC,
You
another
got a couple more
disappointment.
slides.
Yeah, I got a disappointment here in the Topps Yamakatsu. There were no Empire Strikes Back offerings. And then this is produced by Yamakatsu. They're called Lamy cards, I guess because they are laminated. And you'll see in that the card I have at the back, which by the way, the
Yeah.
backs of these all seem to just feature R2D2 and C3PO. They don't have cool varied images on the back. You can see that thick plastic border on the outside, which seems to be what these are. They're just laminated cards, and a lot of them feature this style of like several different images collaged on, which there are some cool images here, but these don't hold a candle to those original Yamakatsu cards.
Yeah, not even close. I was really disappointed because after I discovered when the original Yamakatsu said, I was like, oh, if they've got great New Hope, I can only imagine what the cinematography of Empire Strikes Back
Yeah.
looks like in a Yamakatsu. And guess what? They weren't out there, as you said, and I was just sad about it. I was like, God, that's where those would have been like, I would have gone after those probably for like display because they're a little bit bigger, And if you've got some good Empire Strikes Back images, those would be a good eye catcher, but they just don't exist, sadly.
No, it's a sad thing. It was weird looking for Empire Strikes Back cards. I'll admit, BC, I danced with the AI beast a little bit trying to find information. And one of the cool things that happened there is that the AI really tried to convince me that one of the only unofficial Topps releases, extremely or non-Topps Empire Strikes Back releases, extremely rare, were these 4 cards that were produced from an obscure gum company in Texas. Maybe not that obscure, but the 1980 Dallas cards. And it literally would show me images of the television show Dallas trading cards, and I would be like, this is not Star Wars. Do they exist somewhere? And it'd be like, yeah. They were in specially inserted packs, and they're very rare. And then I'd be like, are you sure that's a thing? And finally it was like, oh, no, I guess that's not a thing. I can find no evidence that this exists, actually. They're not Star Wars. And then I berated the AI for a while for acting like it's sure about things when it has no idea if it's correct or not. But yeah, if you got any information out there on strange Star Wars cards that are extremely
I gotta
rare.
say, that's very human for the AI to just like, no, this is real. I don't care about facts. I am 100% confident that the Star Wars cards were in this Dallas set, and you can't tell me otherwise because I know things. So AI is very human, and that's horrifying to me.
Well, it's fed off of our misinformation and its own misinformation. It's an exciting time to be alive.
Oh, great for humanity. Next slide.
Here we have the strangest thing I found, I guess, or the hardest thing to find information on were the Moo Jo Mo. I don't know how to say this. It is a ramen noodle company that had these cards. Again, the AI told me that these were stickers. They aren't stickers. But eventually I used the crumbs from the AI to track down these cards, which seem to be thick, that were on top of noodle cups, instant noodle cups. And there's a good selection on eBay for sale, but I couldn't find any images of the actual noodle product out there. I found a blog post that had some sumo wrestling cards produced in the same style and cardstock. And this is, again, a selection from Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi that were released around the time of Return of the Jedi. So these are very hard to find that are not gross on the back like that card.
I can imagine. Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know if that's just discoloration or if that's noodle juice. But yeah, there's some cool images here. I guess they're standard trading card size looking at that PSA label.
It's yeah. You said it's the top. It's a thick top to a noodle.
No, it
Or
was just on top of the noodle cup, but the card
okay.
stock seems kind of thick, thicker
Okay.
than a
All right.
standard trading card. I just by the damage on the corners, all of these seem to
Right.
have. I didn't get like a side view, but it seems like they're a thicker.
Gotcha.
Could be wrong.
More cardboardy esque.
Yeah.
All right.
Myojo? I don't know.
Myojo.
And
Just quickly and competently, if you don't know.
yeah, all
Myojo.
right. Good advice, BC. And I guess that's it. That's all I was able to dig up.
Well, you dug up a lot. Certainly stuff that I have never heard of before. I think the Monties I had seen before. I'm not sure if that was because you had previously been like, check these out. They're amazing. I would say a bit of a letdown. It does feel like probably Lucasfilm was getting a tighter grip on Star Wars and their properties after the success of the first movie, but I don't know. I don't think anything's going to top the original Yamakatsu and Space Ice in terms of just oddities that exist for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's appreciate you finding all those weirdo things out there. It just connects me to like my youth and product tie-ins and things that I used to, for whatever reason, find valuable or interesting that were literally worth nothing, but did the job they were intended to do, which was sell hamburgers or Happy Meal, sweets, or things that are probably terrible for you.
You got any standouts, VC? As far as Star Wars for me, I remember these little. There was always this fantasy of things being in the cereal box when I was growing up, of like cartoons
Yeah.
always presented like, whoa, a toy falling out of the cereal box. And so often it was mail and stuff. But one of the things that was in the cereal box were these light up lightsaber spoons. Do you remember these? I think they were episode 2. And it was like,
I never had them, but I have seen them. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I thought that was super cool. Because again, they fell out of the box in their little plastic bag, and those were cool. I had episode 2 cereal. I had a lot of those boxes that had like a foil sheen on them and had Obi-Wan with a lightsaber and Jango Fett behind him. And boy, that cereal was bad, but I ate a lot of boxes of it.
You did it for the cause. I think the first one, just in terms of like garbage plastic, that really caught my attention and was like the right zeitgeisty moment for a child my age, was the Batman Returns Happy Meals. They had the Batmobile, one of the ones you could get. I'm pretty sure there was like a creepy penguin with his penguin thing that he was in.
Was like oil out of his mouth.
That movie creeped me out, and because I was excited, I was like excited about Batman just as a concept as a kid, and then I saw the movie in theaters. I'm like, Danny DeVito is terrifying. This is horrifying, and I need to go home right now. But the Happy Meal tie-in, I was like, I want that Batmobile, and I remember I had an uncle who at the time was like a manager at a McDonald's. And so when we went to visit like my aunt and uncle, like we got to go, like we walked back in like the kitchen area of the McDonald's, which was, kind of cool for a kid or whatever. But they had like the tranche of all the Happy Meal toys that would go into the boxes. And I'm pretty sure he was like, pick whichever one you want. I'm like, that one, So the Batmobile from Batman Returns, like one that is firmly embedded into my brain. Also, weirdly, the Flintstones movie. Nice. I'm not sure if it was Happy Meal toys, but I remember those from a very specific like summer movie tie-in thing from my youth.
That Flintstones movie. I think we streamed that.
We certainly did.
That was a trip.
Oh, that was unforgettable. That particular experience. That movie is wild.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yep. Very strange. Was heavily marketed when it was coming out. I remember nonstop commercials for that on Nickelodeon. Yeah, I don't remember any other Star Wars specific like freebies. I guess I do. I remember Taco Bell having. I remember having a Naboo cruiser from Episode One. There was a lot of Episode One stuff. I'm forgetting. Anyway, yeah, exciting stuff. If you got any memories, leave them in the comments. Bye forever.
My favorite tie-in to Star and forever will be the Pepsi cans.
Oh yeah. Oh,
The Pepsi's
I
and Mountain
remember
Dew.
something. Doritos had these little plastic things inside the bag of Doritos that they just looked like they were puzzle pieces, and they just looked like nothing. They looked like they were 3D printed, and it was just mounds of like shape, but then you held them up to the light, and as the light shone through, it created an image. I think they were for episode 2. And I collected a lot of those because I thought it was very cool. Again, they look like 3D printed little squares that were just mounds of geography, and then you held them up, and the different thicknesses would create. It was a weird thing. I've never seen anything like it. So yeah,
We'll have to do like a cargo bay like eBay tour at some point where we just go through and search the oddities and find out what's stashed in the back of the cargo bay, the cargo eBay, and just look and see what those childhood treasures are now selling.
Yeah, if anybody wants to buy us one of those droid carrier coolers.
Oh my god, I want it so bad.
Send that to the cargo bay and we'll drink out of it every episode. We'll shout you out every episode from here until
every single time.
All right, everybody. I'm ready for a swoop, BC.
Shoom.
Perfecto. Yeah. All right.